Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Epic Geek Out, the only show on the internet that's both epic and geeky at the same time. I'm your host, Chad.
I'm your host, Rob, and today we are going to be taking a look back, a stroll down memory lane, if you will, to our first 50 episodes as a podcast.
Cool. So as always, please like us on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter at Epic Geek Out.
You can check out our website, which is www.epicgeekout.com, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's somewhere around there. You know, just hit that little button.
All right, let's just get into it because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. So we're here looking back on, I guess, a couple months. How many months?
Yeah.
Not quite
Since March. I can't do the math.
Not quite 6 months yet. But we have 50 episodes out, so we thought it'd be a good time. It's the end of the summer, so we've seen pretty much all the summer movies except for the Bourne movie, which is coming out this weekend.
It's close to that, yeah.
So we figured it'd be a good time to look back on some of the things that we liked, we were disappointed in from our first 50 episodes of programming. So let's start it off with movies. What movie were you most disappointed in from the ones that we've seen? So that's I guess since March.
A couple?
If you had to pick one, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it hurts us to not like a movie.
Yes.
And I think we've said this before, but I think I want to at least reiterate it. Go see the movie. Even if we don't like it, I mean, just go see a movie. Go check out the matinee. Check it out when it comes out on Redbox. Because there is something that you can pull from every movie that you see, something that you remember, and it is an experience.
And people's tastes are different.
Exactly. So, you know, this is just us giving our opinions. We'd hate to offend people, but, you know, that's not going to stop us from being truthful. So with that, it was one of our earlier reviews. John Carter. I think that movie had the possibility and also the budget to be this awesome thing, and just it hurt my heart because there were so many mistakes that didn't have to be made. And I think in movies that's like the worst. I think if you reach for the stars and you fall short, you know, that's fine because at least you did that. But when they just make mistakes like that are so trivial, like how when he was running, he was sometimes jumping and then other times he wasn't, and just things like that. And the epic nature of it, like I wanted to love that movie. I really thought I was going to like it. So I think that was my maybe most disappointing. Besides maybe the whole genre of comedies this summer. I think they get lumped together. And,
I think the comedies, though, was some of the most surprising ones that we didn't think we'd like. We liked, like 21 Jump Street, The Watch. I think those were the more surprising ones, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't great.
But I don't think there was no comedy that was a hangover to our generation.
Right.
Or that just,
even
Talladega Nights, which I enjoyed, which, again, we haven't seen the campaign yet, but I am not looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the more controversial ones. A lot of people did like John Carter, I think. So mine is also very controversial. Is Prometheus was probably the one I was most excited for out of a lot of the movies that we've seen, and fell flat on a lot of levels. I mean, even taking aside the fact that I was really hoping for a really cool connection to Alien, it still left a lot of concepts that I completely didn't understand or agree with, and just things that I picked out. But again, we're talking about it. You know, I talked to many people about it, trying to argue the points both ways.
And you say you're disappointed, but I mean, you did give it a pretty decent review, and like, you know, it had its faults, but you wanted it to be more, right? Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted it to be more. I did have a lot of problems with the plot and stuff.
Yeah.
It just was kind of disappointing. But then there were those movies that kind of surprised us, I think. I know which one you're going to pick, but out of all the movies that we reviewed, which one were you most blown away by that you weren't expecting much out of?
Which one do you think I was going to pick?
Cabin.
Yeah, I mean...
Which I agree with. It's definitely...
And again, to set up, I mean, if you haven't seen Cabin in the Woods...
It's coming out
soon.
See
it. September, actually. Which is soonish, but I thought it would be on DVD already.
Yeah, I think they're trying to be close to Halloween.
Halloween makes sense. It was just a movie-going experience that wasn't tainted by previews of it, which so many movies now, like Ted. I felt Ted was kind of I enjoyed the movie, but I felt it was just an elongated form of a trailer.
Exactly.
Whereas Cabin in the Woods, I didn't know much going into it. It had Whedon all over it. I mean, Joss Whedon wrote it, didn't direct it, but it was great. It had some great actors. I love Bradley Whitford from West Wing, and he did a great job in it. And just the concept was unique, new, and really original.
Yeah, it was fun too. It was
mind blowing. I loved it because I walked out of the theater, and again, we actually had an early premiere for that, which was awesome because I'm so glad I didn't hear anything about the movie. So again, the experience might not be the same since you're hearing me gush about the movie, but the last 15 to 18 minutes blew my mind. Like literally, there was brain left on the seat. The theater was oh crap, oh yeah. So it was awesome. It was just an awesome movie-going experience. So yeah, I mean, I would have to say that.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. That's probably, if I had to pick one, that would be it. But since I'm trying to be a little different, I'm going to go with 21 Jump Street because I think that I wasn't expecting anything from that movie. And I was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed the experience. I guess another one could say American Wedding, which was one I actually forgot about when we were talking another episode about
American Reunion.
Or American Reunion, yeah. Same thing. We were talking about comedies of the summer, and I had forgotten about it because it kind of flies under the radar, especially as a comedy. But I really enjoyed it, and it made me so nostalgic for the series and stuff like that. American Reunion, you're right. Yeah. So I was going to say video games, but there really hasn't been a lot of games that we've done. And then that's the fall, so, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
is there anything game-wise?
I'm actually excited because I feel I've been trying to get as geeky as possible for this because I want to be as true to the title of the show.
Right.
I mean, we've been getting into comics. I've been spending a lot of my free time now catching up on comics, which has a plethora of shit to read. So again, check out your library. I just got done Secret Identity, which is a Superman comic. Awesome, loved it. So video games, I feel like that out of the one aspect of what we've been doing has actually kind of fallen back because since we started the show, I watched all Battlestar. I now watch Doctor Who. I'm still trying to catch up on Breaking Bad, all on Netflix, and then maintaining the movie-esque thing
every week.
So I'm not sure. I mean, we played some good titles over that. I mean, I think Max Payne 3, it was 3. That, I mean, again, I didn't go buy it, but I was pleasantly surprised at that. I think for $15, the best value you're going to get is Orcs Must Die 2. Yeah. Honestly, for your money that I've seen over this time, especially if you have a buddy who plays the game with you. Unfortunately, my PC is dead, dying, so that's why we haven't done that. So I would say, those two probably. And I guess maybe Orcs is just kind of in my mind. But.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And I would agree. I mean, there really hasn't been a lot, but I'm excited for what's coming out. Gears. But
I do have this little MMO bug.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about maybe rejoining Star Wars, and I really kind of just want to do Warcraft again. I don't know why. I never loved that game, but I want to play it again. So
yeah, wait on Star Wars because it's going free to play in a month. So.
And Kung Fu Panda, Pandaria. Gotta get ready for that.
I think TV shows. There's been a lot of good stuff.
Listen.
Unfortunately, I would say
pour one out.
Awake.
I
was thinking that. Our first episode, we gushed about it. And
I mean,
I didn't even watch
Schoolgirls over insert boy band name here that I don't know current day boy bands. It was great. But then there was that penguin that threw me off, and that's when I stopped watching. I stopped watching that. There was this episode with an imaginary penguin. I stopped watching that halfway through, and I did not get to an episode.
Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Literally.
But I did not get to a point after that. And
unfortunately.
That breaks my heart.
But then we have things like The Newsroom, which we're both still watching. We're both still loving it. We said last night that it's the one show consistently that I'll make sure I
put down electronics. I watch it at 10 o'clock. I hardly catch the on-demand version of it. So yeah, I think that speaks volumes for what TV is doing. It's getting a little TV-ish with some things that I wish didn't have to happen for the characters to be loved, But there are moments where I am near in tears every single episode. Yeah. And for TV, I think that's awesome. So... yeah, I'm a fan, and I understand why people hate it. Yeah, I do, but
I don't blame anybody. I mean, I love it personally. Yeah. So, that's a lot of stuff. What are you looking forward to? Looking forward.
I just saw today that The Hobbit actually comes out this year.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that honestly until today. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I don't think I'm as
Halo
excited
4.
for it.
I'm excited for. You know what I'm excited for? I want a game where 6 of us get it. and we have that old school.
It's gonna be hard.
It
nowadays,
is.
We're the busy lives we live.
We can do it. We need to set apart that time. Like Halo 4.
Right.
I said, like, Halo back in the dorms was a great game experience. Luckily, now we can do that in separate things. So I'm looking forward to that game that just kind of brings back the band of, friends on Xbox. I'll plug in that wired headset and, I'll do it again. So,
yeah,
I'm pretty pumped.
I agree. I'm really looking forward to Guild Wars 2, which is coming out at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the MMO to kind of get me back in. Although I still play every WoW expansion, I kind of quit after a couple weeks after I reached the max level. For me, it's just not much fun in it anymore. It's just kind of, I feel like I'm compelled to do it.
Yeah.
It's
kind of
it's a sickness.
It's a
sickness that people have. But I'm excited. I think for the Les Mis movie that's coming out.
Yeah, I'll say it.
I'm not ashamed to say. I'm a huge Les Mis fan, and I'm excited for that. That's coming out this year. Also, Skyfall, obviously.
Yeah, Bond's back, and it looks great. I think it has the possibility to really tear open that franchise, because I think it dropped a little bit in the last one, Quantum of Solace, but I think it looks great with just what they're really going for. So
3 things we didn't talk about yet are looking back on our superhero movie predictions of the beginning. This is our second episode, right?
Second episode.
Crazy.
Titled Superhero Aganza.
I know, a lot has happened since then. How did your list stack up?
My list, okay. Spider-Man, definitely in that number 3 spot for me. It is easily the most underwhelming film out of the series, out of these 3.
Yes.
I think. And then when it gets to 1 and 2, I think it depends. Honestly, I'm conflicted. It depends on what mood I'm in.
Okay.
They are virtually uncomparable, and if you want to Avengers embraces everything that it is superhero. It embraces the colors. It embraces the costumes. It embraces the shots that are like comic panels. It embraces that. The Dark Knight takes something and Dark Knight Rises takes something and transform it. Avengers is 100,062 movies combined into one, to create Captain America, all that stuff. But then Dark Knight is the end of a trilogy, an awesome trilogy. And I know there's faults to Dark Knight Rises, but I did love it, and I loved the last 15 minutes of that movie and how they ended it, and it was great. So, if I'm happy, I would say Avengers I like better, because that is just a pure adrenaline rush movie that you're gonna, if you know these characters, you're gonna love. My face hurt from smiling. Whereas Dark Knight Rises, I was entranced. I loved the movie making of it, the acting, everything like that. So, I don't know.
If you had to pick one
to be better,
just go for it. Just off the top of your head, what would you say?
I'm going to go with Avengers only because I get to see more of them. And I'm excited that that's the start of something that was started with a ton of other movies. Whereas, Christopher Nolan has said that he is not revisiting any superhero universe from here on out. So, and it was a thrill ride of pure uncanny ecstasy. And like I said, and I don't really stick with this, going back with what I said on underwhelming comedies, I laughed harder in that movie, and I think more than any movie we've seen this summer.
Yeah.
I cracked up. So I'm going to give Avengers the slight edge, but when it's a rainy day out, I would watch Dark Knight Rises. So.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. Spider-Man definitely the 3 spot. So my list kind of switched from Dark Knight was 3rd, Spider-Man. So mine switched around. I definitely prefer Avengers. Now, if you're saying, here's something to throw in the wrench. I think if I had to pick between the Batman trilogy or the Avengers and all the subsequent movies before it, I would pick the Batman trilogy.
I would 100%.
As a complete
100%.
product. Although I love the fact
that it tells a continuity story and it wraps it up at the end, and
which is actually
that's so rare.
It's funny because we did sort of like a test pilot episode of Epic Geek Out a year ago for our test was of Captain America. Which, do you remember?
I don't remember doing that at all.
We did it just kind of to see how it went, and it's funny just looking back. It seems like eons ago, and now here we are. We've gotten the Avengers. We got the last Batman movie.
Crazy,
and it's a crazy time we live in, a crazy geek world, and we're excited about it.
It is.
But it's been a good 50 episodes, and we're gonna keep going. And some people might look at this and say, you guys haven't been around for 6 months yet, but for us, 50 episodes is a huge milestone.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to keep doing this. We're excited about it. This is stuff we love anyway. So we love just, doing this every week, talking about our opinions and going from there. So.
And there was some person, I do forget his Twitter handle or hers, said, why do you guys do this show when you don't get more than 600 views or things like that? Right. And obviously our goal is to reach out to as many people as possible. But, even if 14 people watched it, which some of our videos do have, they hopefully they enjoyed it. Hopefully, they took something from it. So that's why we do it. Even if we reach a small amount of people,
And we're new. We're getting there. So it's,
we're learning. And there's not been a moment, except for a couple of the filmings we've done when I've been hungover, that I didn't enjoy doing this or going to see a movie. So I enjoy what we're doing. So just to answer that question, because
and I feel that people should do what they love in life, and this is one of our passions for sure. So
if I take nothing from this, I have fallen in love with comic books and the art and the beauty of them and stuff like that. So there's good things have absolutely happened. So
cool. So 50 episodes, but don't worry, we got plenty more epicness for you. We don't see it in sight. So thanks again for all you guys who've been watching. I know we have some people there that stick with us every week, and we really, really appreciate it. And we hope that we're entertaining you at least a little bit.
Yeah, and just a little bit.
That's cool. So we'll be seeing you guys around for sure. But thanks for watching if you have. And that's it. All right. So every episode we always end with our thanks, our geek outs of things that are going on. So for this time we decided to look back and pick our favorite episode, the one that kind of speaks to us the most personally, just because it's kind of fun. Yeah. Out of 50, we have a lot of choose
nostalgia.
From.
We're all about nostalgia here.
So what was your favorite episode that you did, I guess, filming, whatever, the way it worked out?
Well, the one thing I want to say, a quick blurb. My best experience so far was Philadelphia Comic-Con. It was just awesome. It was a weekend full of everything geeky. I got outside of my box, which you can check out Sci-Fi Speed Dating, which caused many gray hairs and certainly was not my favorite episode to film. But looking back, if I can take anything away from that, just the people we met there, talked to, that experience, the cabaret show we saw or whatever, burlesque whatever, was nuts. The experience of that was well worth everything.
Yeah.
But my favorite standalone episode, for a bunch of different reasons, because it was a movie I was looking forward to seeing, reviewing, I'd read the book, is our Hunger Games episode. I think that episode was kind of maybe the turning point where I think we really started to feel more comfortable in front of the camera, especially for me, because looking back, it's hard to watch the beginning episodes, at least looking at myself on screen, and I could do an counter where if we made that a drinking game, we would be wasted. I had to do a shot every time I said So I think Hunger Games was really when we started putting the show together, and also it was the first episode where when we went out and started talking to people, from friends, family, things like that, they were like, oh, we really liked what you said. We agreed with this. And that's when that started to happen. So I like it for a lot of different reasons. I liked my opening that I wrote for it. It makes me laugh. And I think we also had contrasting opinions on it. For sure. But I think we both defended our points well, and I read the book, you didn't. So I think it was just a solid review. So I would go with Hunger Games.
Yeah, I think it's funny because we tend to agree a lot on things. And that probably doesn't make for the best show for you guys, because
I think we like different things, though.
Yeah, I think it's good to have differing opinions, and we definitely have very similar opinions.
I like that it's always been civil.
Yeah, that's to this point.
That's great.
The first 50.
Yes.
So that definitely I would agree. That's probably our most conflicting opinions on the episode. Mine's going to have to be the Avengers vs. X-Men episode that we did, because that was our first comic book episode, and I just, looking back, I think that was the most honest I think we were in any episode, because we didn't try to act like we knew anything about comics, because we didn't. We probably...
And people would have called us on that.
Yeah, and we might have lost cred, people saying you're not geeky if you don't like it. But, we're just not, it was a medium that we weren't really versed in, and we acknowledged that, but we said, we want to get into this, and I think we definitely have, as you said before.
As my bank account equates, yes, it does.
And I don't know, it just kind of turned me on to the world of comics, and like how awesome it can be, and looking back on
and just
back
the
episodes,
art and the own art that you know, like that kind of stuff that we got from Comic-Con.
And I think that I was surprised too at how well in that episode we were able to speak on it, because at first I was like, okay, we're gonna review a comic. We have 10 minutes.
Yeah.
How are we gonna do this? But I think we definitely touched on all the aspects of reviewing a comic, and I think it was a job well done.
Yeah, I do too. And we gave a combined thanks for our first episode to the Totally Rad Show, which again, you know, is kind of our inspiration to see what they do. You know, it's a great show, so definitely check it out. It's on Revision 3. You know, just check that show out for sure. But we want to do our second. I don't think we've ever done another combined thanks.
Nope.
Our second combined thanks to mark the first 50 episodes. So I'm going to read off some numbers for everyone. 111, 380, 215, and 40,474. 111 are the amount of likes we have currently on Facebook. 380 are the amount of Twitter followers we have. 215 are the amount of YouTube subscribers, and 40,474 are the amount of views that our channel has gotten as a whole. This show only works because, you know, people do watch it and that kind of stuff. And, you know, we really just want to thank anyone who has taken their time to watch it. Even I know people have watched it who aren't even interested in what we're talking about. So to friends, family, people on the internet, you know, we don't know, I would really just like to say thank you. And we appreciate, I don't know what that equates into minutes of people watching us talk about stuff, but I think that's kind of an uncanny number. And so honestly, truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Our hearts, yes.
Our hearts, yeah.
Definitely agree with that. And like we said before, we love this, so we're gonna keep doing it. But anyways, that's it for our look back at 50 episodes. But we'll be back at 100 probably, or maybe we'll just wait till a year.
I like this look back episode.
Yeah, it's fun. So thanks again for watching. But we'll be back next week with some more episodes. We're gonna be talking about the Bourne movie that's coming out, the Bourne Legacy, I believe it's called.
And then something on Thursday.
Something on Thursday, which we have yet to figure out. But we will, and we'll see you then. So have a great weekend, and thanks for watching this episode of Epic Geek Out.